the sleek corridors of the interstellar vessel. Harmony buzzed with tension as Captain Vel paced before the main view screen. 300 cycles had passed since the ship departed Earth with its precious cargo. 2,000 humans in cryogenic sleep, bound for the distant colony world of Newterra. What should have been a routine journey had become their greatest nightmare. The navigation systems had failed spectacularly 12 hours ago. Every backup protocol had been exhausted, leaving the massive vessel drifting in uncharted space with no means of determining their location or destination. The alien crew, a collection of the galaxy's most experienced spacefaring species, found themselves completely lost. Status report, Vel commanded, his elongated frame casting shadows across the bridge. Engineer Crix, a methodical being from the Centauri sector, manipulated the holographic displays with 4 nimble appendages. All primary navigation arrays are non-functional. The quantum compass remains offline, and stellar cartography shows no recognizable patterns. We are effectively blind in space. Science Officer Nara, her crystalline features reflecting the bridge lighting, added grimly, "Our current trajectory will take us into the void between galactic arms. Without course correction within the next 18 hours, we will drift beyond any hope of rescue or return." The bridge fell silent, except for the gentle hum of life support systems. Every member of the crew understood the implications. They possessed the most advanced technology their respective civilizations could provide, yet they were helpless against this cascading system failure. "What about the humans?" asked Communications Officer Thane, his voice barely above a whisper. "Captain," Vel turned sharply. "The humans are in cryosleep. They will remain so until we reach Newterra." "But Captain," Thane continued hesitantly, "their species has a reputation for unconventional problem-solving. Perhaps we should consider awakening some of them." The suggestion hung in the air like a dangerous proposition. The galactic community generally viewed humans as primitive newcomers to space travel, barely a century removed from their first tentative steps beyond their home system. Yet whispered stories traveled through trading posts and diplomatic channels, tales of human ingenuity and their peculiar ability to find solutions where others saw only impossibility. Dr. Maya, the ship's medical officer and only human crew member who had remained awake for the journey, stepped forward. "I could safely revive 3 individuals without compromising the others. Their neural patterns show they are all experienced engineers and pilots." Vel considered the options. Protocol demanded he exhaust all conventional solutions before taking such drastic action. But with time running short and no alternatives presenting themselves, he made his decision. Proceed with the revival process. Select the 3 most qualified individuals. 30 minutes later, in the ship's medical bay, 3 cryopods hissed open with clouds of vapor. The first to emerge was Jake, a grizzled spacecraft mechanic with calloused hands and tired eyes. Next came Lisa, a young navigation specialist, whose reputation for solving impossible puzzles had earned her a place on the colony mission. Finally, Tom awakened, a former military pilot whose unconventional thinking had saved countless lives during Earth's brief but intense space conflicts. After brief medical checks and hasty explanations of their situation, the 3 humans were escorted to the bridge. The alien crew watched with barely concealed skepticism as the primitives examined their sophisticated equipment. Jake scratched his head as he studied the navigation console. "Well, this is fancy, but it's still just a computer. Have you tried turning it off and on again?" The aliens exchanged glances. Such a crude suggestion seemed beneath consideration, yet Engineer Crix found himself explaining that complete system shutdowns were impossible during flight operations. "Not impossible," Lisa interjected, her fingers dancing across the interface. "Just dangerous. But if we're already lost, what do we have to lose?" She began isolating non-essential systems while Tom examined the external sensor arrays. "Your quantum compass is working fine," he announced after several minutes. "The problem is your stellar database. You're trying to navigate using star charts that assume perfect galactic positioning, but space moves. Stars drift, gravity wells shift, and what worked 300 years ago won't work now." "Impossible," Science Officer Nara protested. Our cartographic data is updated constantly through subspace networks. When did you last receive an update? Lisa asked without looking up from her work. The silence that followed provided the answer. The ship had been out of communication range for weeks, relying on pre-programmed stellar positions that were increasingly inaccurate as they traveled further from known space. Jake, meanwhile, had begun physically examining the navigation hardware. "Found your problem," he called out, holding up a small component. "This processing unit has a hairline crack, probably from thermal expansion. Your diagnostic systems are too sophisticated to notice such a simple failure." Within 6 hours, the humans had implemented a series of solutions that would have taken the alien crew weeks to discover. If at all, they replaced the damaged component with parts cannibalized from non-essential systems, recalibrated the quantum compass using real-time stellar observations rather than database comparisons, and established a new navigation protocol that accounted for galactic drift. As the Harmony adjusted course toward New Terra, Captain Vell found himself reconsidering everything he thought he knew about humans. Their approach seemed chaotic and illogical, yet undeniably effective. Where his crew had seen insurmountable technical challenges, the humans had seen simple mechanical problems requiring practical solutions. "How did you know what to do?" he asked Jake as the three humans prepared to return to cryosleep. Jake shrugged. "We didn't. We just tried things until something worked. Sometimes the best solution is the simplest one." As the cryopods sealed shut once more, the alien crew resumed their duties with newfound respect for their sleeping passengers. The humans had saved them all through nothing more than basic troubleshooting and practical thinking. Captain Vell made a note in his log. "Humans possess remarkable problem-solving capabilities that complement advanced technology. Recommend further study of their methodologies." The Harmony continued toward New Terra, its course true and its crew forever changed by their encounter with human ingenuity.